Hi, welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
And I'm my husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn. Getting out of pocket. That ain't your part.
I know I'm used to doing it. So I got used to doing it by myself. But anyway, before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, so you don't miss any of our reviews. Tonight we're talking about Married at First Sight, episode titled "Wigging Out." Wigging out. There's a lot of people wigging out doing this episode of Married at First Sight. Where you want to get started?
Let's get Lauren and Orion out the way.
Yeah.
This is what happened before. Of course, they have to let their family members know or talk to their family members about what happened. Family members and friends, they already know. We're just getting like the tail end of the conversation. So Lauren goes to talk to her brother and sister-in-law, Marcellus and Marcelette. I still want to know how that happened.
Well, he met her and found her name was Marcelette, and they got together still.
I love it. So Lauren says she's been through all the emotions. Her first defense is laughter, humor. A lot of us do that. You gotta laugh to keep from crying. Mm-hmm. And so she's found some humor in it, but she's been through all the emotions. And she's like, I just sat there and determined I'm gonna feel what I feel. And so
can't be mad at her, man. Let her feel what she feels, and she upset Orion. It is what it is, because she wanted a relationship and he didn't.
Yeah, she said she's gonna take the lessons from this, and it sucks that she had someone that felt like it couldn't work out when she aired on the side that yes, this happened, but things could still work out. And her brother was like, effort is a two-way street. You can't be putting forth all the effort and the other person isn't. That's just not going to work. And her sister-in-law, like Keisha said on the after party, she gets an award because her sister-in-law was like, you still a bad B. He missed out. Mm-hmm. You still gonna do you. We love and appreciate you and care for you. You can't control another person. Yeah, you give your best, but the other person hasn't or didn't in this case. And you can't control that. So, keep getting money, keep going on trips. You a bad B.
Yeah.
You a bad girl, and your friends are too.
She is
dripping swag. Go.
She gave the business. I know if Orion happened to be in that place, she would have gave him the business too.
Oh, and let me add this. She said hopefully that's the last time you'll see his tail behind.
The last time. Which we know is not going to be the last time. So,
but she said on the after party, her sister-in-law did encourage her not to talk to him, but he wanted to have a conversation, which we did see a preview of that for the next episode. For him, he talked to his friend. He says, he feels strongly about the divorce because he was losing romantic interest. His friend was like, how did your mom and sister take it? Did you tell them? He said, yeah, I told my mom and my sister about when transpired, and they were more upset that he didn't get what he wanted. You don't know if you got what you wanted or not. You only had 7 days. You don't know what?
I'll be interested to see.
They're haters.
I wanted to see how he told the story.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own side of the story, right? And I wanted to see how he told his side of the story to make it seem like he was in the right and she was in the wrong. Because when you tell your story, you're always the victim, and he's played the victim in this role.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, depending on how you tell it, and plus that's your family, y'all are connected by blood. They're gonna take your side more than the other person. So
right, he should have been honest. Like he should have told the whole story. If he didn't, she wants to be with us. She wants to keep the relationship. I was the one who ended it.
Mm-hmm. His friend was like, you think you might get into something else. He was like, I'm not jumping into anything else super fast. I have to deal with this hurt, and I'm looking for. He wanted someone. He said he had genuine feelings for Lauren, and so he's just gonna have to wade through that, and then at some point maybe move forward. But he's not looking to go forward too fast. So that's really everything.
That's it with him.
Hated that we had to see them.
Yeah.
All right. Next, that was pretty short and sweet because the other 2 couples we only down to 3. Let's do Becca and Austin. So we open up and it's her birthday. Happy birthday to her.
Mhm.
And he was like, I'm gonna make you breakfast in bed, and later we're gonna have a they're gonna have a housewarming party later. But she met with her friends for our birthday meal, her friends Kelsey, Adrian, and Jenny.
Yep.
And okay, how you feeling about Austin so far? She said he's good at communicating, we're on the same page with kids, but they do differ on religion.
And that's the overrunning theme.
Yeah. Um, for him, he talked about the fact that Pastor Cal talked to them about religion, and it really opened his eyes up to the fact that even though we're not on the same page, we don't have the same religious beliefs, that if we had the same fundamental beliefs,
Mhm.
if any core values, that's something that we can build upon. Because everything else aligns. And his friend was like, if that's the one thing that y'all have an issue with, then that's fine.
That's fine. Y'all can deal with it. Y'all can go ahead and the relationship good because she's giddy. I mean, she was real giddy when she was talking to her friends about Austin. She really likes Austin.
Mm-hmm. So, and he really likes her. Yeah. Her friends, they had the question about, how's the sex life? He was like, I'm taking it slow, mm-hmm. And she said she's been taking his lead. Her friends really like him, the openness and acceptance there. They asked, is it romantic? And they said, we're not falling in love yet. And we haven't said, I love you, but it's like, I got love for him.
Well, that's the $1 million question. Why is he taking it slow? Is he scared of her sickness? Is he scared of her mental stability?
I think he said before that he usually takes it slow. Okay. That's his MO.
Because she's ready.
Yeah, he usually takes it slow. So
yeah, she's 100% ready, and she's because her friends talked about it too. Like by this time, you've already had sex or you've already been gone.
Well, yeah, she said it's the first guy she's been with as an adult that hadn't wanted to jump right to sex. And she said that's fine with her. She'll do it that way.
I mean, I just question. I mean, I don't know if it's a sickness, like I said, or he think she's not. I won't say mentally stable, but
no, I think he's just a slow mover, and he likes to actually have that connection. Okay. Then, gotcha. So for their housewarming party, they're making a charcuterie board together and getting that all arranged. His friend Derek comes over, Derik, and her friends Gina and Lauren, and they talk about the board and look what we got for you. Got these cheeses, we got these meats, and they're like, we think our friends will get along, and they really do.
Yeah.
In the interaction we saw, they got along. Austin goes to talk with Gina and Lauren separate
while cooking hot dogs.
Yeah, and so it's like, so what should he do not to become like one of her ex-boyfriends? And they were like, just open communication is what's needed. Mm-hmm. Austin, Derek tells Becca that Austin can be a hard nut to crack, but take your time. And she was like, he's been really open with me. I think we're building a solid friendship, and he has. Then she says, oh, and he's got great makeout ability. So she's anticipating that once they do the physical thing, it'll be.
And that's what Derek said. He said, I was wanting to know. I was wanting to ask that question, like, how was it going?
Well, he was like, as a friend, I mean, I wouldn't know about that. But okay, not something I wondered, but that's good for y'all. Yeah. Let's see. And Derek says, is there anything that you haven't gotten from him? And she was like, there are conversations that he doesn't want to approach in that moment. He said, we'll talk about it later. Mm-hmm. And then he actually does come back to the conversation. And Derek says, he sees a lot of things in them that he also sees between him and his wife. Yeah. And so that gives him hope. So he likes it.
Go to the point of comment. I mean, I think that's a good thing for Derek, being able to, in his emotions and his feelings, table the.
You mean Austin?
Austin, sorry. In the moment with Austin, be able to table the conversation with question if he's not prepared. Some people can't do that. They splat off at the moment's notice, and it blows things up, right?
Or they never come back to the conversation. Or they never
come back to the conversation. But him to get his thoughts together and to be able to discuss that, I think that's great for him. Kudos.
And then Becca says sometimes he's so great that she questions, like, are you a con artist? Like, is this for real? And her friends were like, she went in all in the process, and I'm seeing that they're seeing that he did too. They realize that religion is a hurdle that they'll have to, cross, but they can deal with it. Derek was like, the interesting aspect is that Derek says that he himself is an atheist, and Austin has his religious beliefs, but it's never been an issue between them. So I don't foresee that, him bringing that up to you often.
It wouldn't be. They don't have to raise kids. I mean, they're friends, and I mean, we all have friends who may not believe in Christ, or who may be atheist or agnostic or Catholic or Jewish. But when you're dealing with a person and y'all gonna have to raise kids together, that when the issue comes, and it makes a big deal.
And so that's why Austin says, we'll have to figure out the bigger issues later, and like you said, cross that bridge when you get to it. They're not even there yet. No. So again, they think their friends had a good time. They will get along. When we do it again, yes. She was like, maybe tomorrow. No, maybe another time this week, possibly. And she said meeting their friends showed that they have a good community of friends, and it provides a reference for who they are and substantiates what they're seeing from that person. Yeah. And so they like that. And yeah,
that's it with them right now. I like them. I think they're gonna make it, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, let's see.
Let's go, Claire. We'll
do Claire and Cameron. So they talk about how it's been easy and natural, living with one another. This was weird. So I think they were talking about getting ready in the morning. He was like, he does very little. He does very little in the morning to get ready. He does quite a bit at night. Well, but I still feel like it should be served. It should when you say very little in the morning, what are you talking about?
I think you still gotta wash your face in the morning. You still gotta brush your teeth. You still should be able to go to the bathroom.
I would, brush your teeth, wash your face. You probably wouldn't go to bed with your cologne on. You probably get
if you use cologne.
Yeah, or some kind of body oil or some kind of smell good. That's it.
Maybe like his natural smell. Maybe he used Sasquatch.
He's from New Zealand, so maybe so. But anyway, she goes to pay him a visit at work and take him a surprise, some surprise food. And so this one thing interesting. So Cameron has a degree specializing in carbon fibers. And he said he is one of 5 specialists in the country when it comes to carbon fibers. So, when the question is how much work can he be doing on bikes, if he's 1 in 5 in the country, the United States, he probably has people coming from
all over the place,
out of state, outside of Colorado, bringing bikes as well. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and then it's like he's a one-man show. It was if he has employees, there was nobody else there. I feel like he said before he had employees.
I think he has employees. He just that day there was nobody else there.
But it's good to see he has a shop as opposed to the little shop in his basement apartment. And so she was like, he says, I got a project for us. Oh, and she said she liked that he was passionate about what he does and he likes to do it. Mm-hmm. So they actually worked on a bike together, and he has a lab coat that he wears while he's working on the bikes, and so he lets her use his lab coat.
I thought it was a good moment. It was sweet. You could see the interaction between the two, and I thought they did a decent enough job where you can see the relationship building. It came a long way from when they was at the honeymoon. A long way.
She said she's seeing him on a whole new level, and so that there's attraction to him, seeing him in his element. They get prepared for the housewarming party, and they're having an anything but a cup party. And I heard of anything but a backpack. Kids do that at school. So this is anything but a cup. Yeah. All right.
Which I thought was interesting.
He was supposed to be getting the food, and so she's cleaning up, getting the house ready, and he comes home with no food.
Nada.
And she's like, you had one job. You had one job, and it was to get the food, and you didn't get the food. He was like, oh, we can order something. This is empanada place. And she was like, I don't do the last minute stuff. It's stressing her out. And you could tell it was plucking her nerves.
It would have been a big argument in my house.
Yeah. And she's blowing up balloons. And she was like, he's like, oh, the balloon's gonna pop. She said, you talking more about the balloons popping than you are worried about getting this food.
I agree with him, because you see the glitter she was putting in that balloon. It would have took years for them to get that glitter out of the balloon.
She didn't put it in there.
Oh, if she didn't,
they come like that.
Well, yeah, he was worried about the glitter. because he's like, it'll take forever for us to clean this up. I understand. Nobody wants glitter on their backside or track to the house when they're not.
But guess what? You'll survive. But we do need food. You can't have no house party. No.
Well, his thing
party.
was he didn't want to sit around forever. He wanted to make sure it was there.
But even when he ordered the food, because he said it didn't give me a time for the food. And when he ordered it, it was like, oh, it needs to be done. It needs to be picked up in 15 minutes.
Yeah, because she was like, well, just order it now. We're warming up. But then she kept it in there a long time. And
well, it ended up being 5 hours before company actually came. And so, their friends come over, and
so his friends didn't come.
I'm sorry, I don't think I said there. The friends come over.
The friends come over.
Being her 3 friends, which they're all therapists, and it's like, oh wow, oh joy, I get to send a party with 3 therapists. I feel like they're gonna pick me apart and psychoanalyze me.
Yep.
And to a degree, they did, but she's doing it too. But anyway,
well, I mean, he's giving nothing. Well, hold up. He gave a lot at the party that he didn't give to Claire.
Yeah,
he gave a lot.
He said his friends were tired of preparing for a trip, so they couldn't come, and her friends would probably be more fun anyway. And so, her friend Amy comes over first, and she brought a pot. So I'm thinking pot, but it was like a watering pot.
Yeah, it's more like one of the Bible type pots.
Yeah,
you know, you got the old Egyptian pot that you can pour.
Yeah,
and I kept wondering why she
kind of like a carafe.
Yeah, I kept wondering why I keep holding to this pot. Then I know it clicked in my mind.
Yeah, so she's going.
That was her cup.
Drink out of? Did she pour it?
She went to the side.
I don't know, but and Claire had a actual pot, like on the stove pot to drink out of, and her friends Rob and Ross come, and she was like, "You're not supposed to bring a cup." They were like, "This is not a cup; it's a deli container," and it was. I was like, "It's not a cup, but it's just like a cup." Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. And what was Cameron drinking out of? I don't even remember. He has something. I can't remember. But anyway, so her friend was like, so, jokingly, since we're out therapists, how is your relationship with your father? And does he know that you did this? And he was like, no, my dad does not know I'm on Married at First Sight. She's like, why? He was like, well, that's not actually something you tell somebody that's on their deathbed. Claire was like, huh? Oh my deathbed. And I feel her. Like, bruh, really? They had this conversation before. Mm-hmm. So your family knows that you get married at first sight. Yeah. So I had this idea that we'll do it in New Zealand, la-di-da-di-da. So yes, yeah. And then he kept talking.
But do you tell somebody that, like, on your first time meeting within the first 20 minutes, hey, by the way, my dad's dying?
Not that part, but I would say, well, yeah, my cousin, he's here in the United States. He knows. He's family. Mm-hmm. I think I'll say, like, I didn't tell my dad. Maybe not say why, but he just said, yes, yeah.
Right.
And so her assumption was he told his family. And then for him to say in this space with her friend, no, my dad doesn't know. That's not something you tell somebody on their deathbed.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you deal with somebody who's had family members die, and she's real close to her family members. I totally get it, But also, I guess he never saw the right timing for him to say to her, "Hey, by the way, my dad's dying."
But not even that. Again, I'm not even that part. They have gone to the brunches with each, families and friends, flip-flopped. Even when he sat with her family, he never mentioned anything about, well, my family in New Zealand doesn't really know. It's just my adopted family here and my blood cousin. Never. I mean, I wouldn't expect him to necessarily drop the bomb. And then he tried to chalk it up to, well, you never asked specifically. She asked specifically. But her friend, they talked about this in the after party. She was jokingly saying, how's your relationship with your father? And he actually went there and they were like,
dropped the bombshell. I want to say it was somebody else like that who family didn't know they was married or married at first sight, but I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember who. But oh, he's very sick. And Claire was like, I didn't know. And, what would he think? She was concerned he brought this heavy thing in front of people, but they never talked about it themselves. And I mean, they have had plenty of time to talk. Like you never brought it up. And he knows how she feels about family. So I'm sure they've had family conversations, and then you didn't bring this up. Like you would bring that up in front of other people, but not me privately. Like that's it really is kind of weird. But and you're not married to my friend Amy.
No.
You're married to me. So Rob and Ross talked to him. How's it been going? It's been a wild ride. They felt every emotion. How do you handle how does Cameron handle Claire in all her emotions, because she can have a lot of emotions? He was like, I get standoffish, and then I come back later and say, oh, sorry. And that usually works. It's pretty healthy, I would say. And Claire's friend, I don't know if it was Rob or Ross, he was like, yeah, sure. All sarcastic. But okay, what made him want to do Married at First Sight? They asked him that question. He's like, I always want to be married. I didn't have any immediate baggage, and I'm financially stable. I felt like it was the right time for commitment, and there was nothing that to say that I shouldn't do it. Do you regret it? No. He said, I wouldn't get married at first sight again, but I'm happy I did. Well, hopefully you wouldn't get married at first sight again.
But that was his play on words, so I'm comfortable with the relationship where I'm at. So
then he says again, his family did not know about it.
Yeah.
But they are supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been bumpy. He likes her day by day it grows. She's the smartest. She's really smart. She says that he's smart, and she respects him, and he respects her. And but I wonder, is that enough? When he's talking to Rob and Ross, I feel like I've been bearing most of the emotional struggle. I feel like I'm sinking rather than swimming. And they're like, how's that? And it's just trying to find a good footing when it comes to her. For him, he said, when it comes to the topic of religion, he's always been open to a partner of any religion, but he doesn't want to raise his kids as such. And Claire tells Amy, he's kind of opposed to religious. He feels like, that's like brainwashing your kids. And I disagree. And it's a tough one to compromise on, but they'll figure it out or whatever.
When the kids come. That's something they got to work on.
Yeah. Ross and Robert told him, it's not something you have to figure out right now. It's not something you can say in this moment. There's no way you can work it out. Mm-hmm. So basically don't focus on it. Just keep exploring the romantic connection, see where it leads. And, you go from there. And, she said she would have, she tells him later, I would like to have that convo amongst ourselves, not in front of people, that he likes her friends a lot. And again, so she brings up when she said that before, she was talking to Amy, I would like him to say that to me. Not with everybody else. And, he was like, he tends to open up more, but not when he's in between a rock and a hard place. So I guess that's how he felt. And he said that in his vignette. And he says he has feelings for Claire, but he hasn't had any real expressions of feelings towards him from her. And he says there's no chance of intimacy. Really, really weird.
I didn't know what did he mean by that?
I don't know.
And because again, I've seen him touchy feely. Does he mean he's sex? Is that the intimacy he wants? Or more touchy feely? So we get it.
Yeah, for her, she said she's not sure if he's ready to put in the mental energy that it needs to build their marriage. So last but not least, Emily and Brennan.
Yep.
It looked like it was going well when they were planning for the party.
Planning for
and
wigs.
Getting the wigs. And so they got little hands, tiny hands for the party. And
different personas came out.
Yeah. What was his persona?
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Yeah, and then she had the red wig, and so the friends come over for the party, and they each pick a wig, and I think them wigs kind of gave Brennan and Emily's friends some different personas because they ripped him a new one.
Yeah,
rightfully so.
They blindsided him though.
I mean, how could they don't know him? They're gonna rock.
Right, he did, but she didn't know. He didn't know them either. And the questioning to me, like they jumped right out of the gate. It also seemed like the one with the red hair wig or the green wig, or the pink, whatever.
It was pink.
Pink. She was like, seemed like she might have been a little tipsy too, though.
No, she was like the very protective friend. This is my friend. Who are you? What do you want? What are you doing? Understand, this is our best friend. We're looking out for her best interest. So I don't know you.
And I don't
same time, I don't know you.
And the way that you acting on TV or acting on camera is not the way you.
Yeah, when she let that slip, the friend in the green wig was like, you weren't supposed to say that. She was like, it's like you're a different person on camera. I know you don't like the cameras being around. And the friend in the green wig was like, you weren't supposed to say that out loud. You weren't supposed to say that.
But but again, Emily has said that too on the after party that he's different, and some of the other cast members have said it that he's different when the cameras are rolling compared to when they're not rolling.
Yeah.
And so he has a persona that he wants to portray, and he's not willing to deviate from that. And he keeps saying he does like her, he does care about her, and we'll see.
Yeah, because she's hoping him moving in would, help with the relationship. But after the conversation with her friends, I don't think so, because he was like, your friends jumped down my throat. I didn't appreciate them doing that. And she was like, well, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I wouldn't want your friends to treat me like that. But again, no, I'm their friend. They're sticking up for me. And yes, I have told them some things, so of course they're going to go off what they want to know. What's up.
And not even that though. He didn't even help her. He complained about how what she moved in, how she's doing things with a hurt wrist. And he didn't even you saw him he did like one bag, and everything else she's pulled in and dragged in.
And the friends complained about you took stuff out the oven, but you didn't help her plate it, you didn't help her arrange it. And he was like, now on that one, I was like, come on.
Yeah, that was a little petty. Like,
that was very petty.
I'm gonna take it out, but she can play it herself. If she needed help, she can say something. But that was petty. But the 18 trips she made or 18 bags, and
you could have helped her.
He could have helped her with that.
And when she was getting the food ready, oh, look what she's doing with just one hand. She took it out the oven with one hand. You could help her. Her wrist is hurt. And yeah, the friends was like, you made it miserable for filming. Yeah. And that's when Green Wig was like,
for filming. Like, look, this is
don't say
what
that.
He said. He said something. This is real life. He said, no, if it was real life.
No, listen. Yes. He did. He was like if this was real life, they was like, hold on, it is real life. What you mean? I think what he was trying to say is outside if we weren't on a TV show.
But he's carrying it like a TV show. He don't think it's real life. He's carrying it like it's TV. This woman has real feelings. You married a real person, and you acting like a butt. You need to step up and show her some compassion, some love, be considerate, be all those things, which I don't think he's doing because she was. But go back. Emily took his side though when he came in and says.
That's why I said she was like, I'm sorry they treated you like that. I wouldn't want your friends to treat me like that. And he appreciated that she did stick up for him, but he was like, your friends were attacking me. They weren't trying to understand, and like that's not cool.
But for a guy who, and I always go back in my head, for a guy who said he's only going to be married once. That he doesn't want to get divorced.
Divorce is not an option.
Divorce is not an option.
It looks like it's option.
It looks like it's the option because you treating this woman like she's not going to be with you or for a long time. And I don't know if that's what he's seeing in his parents' relationships and that's how they stay married. I don't know because, he got a Russian background. I don't know how Russians do. So is this what he's seeing and what he knows? But the way you're moving, divorce is going to be a big option because she's not going to take all this that you're dishing out. Yeah. Because you basically called her ugly last show. That you're not attracted
because he didn't say he was attracted.
Yeah,
So you basically said you're not attractive, and it's just his thing. Her friends were attacking him rather than trying to understand him, and she said, "I don't think they were attacking you. They're just trying to understand you, and they're concerned. They don't know you. Brennan said and her friend said, we don't know you. We're trying to get to know you. He said, but how are you trying to get to know me? I'm asking questions. You're not giving me good answers. You said, he was like, I'm confused. What's going on? I was like, Lord.
He feel like he's attacked.
They were. Guess what?
It was attacking him, but they was
You
attacking him.
absolutely were, and it was absolutely called for.
It was attacking him because they wanted to make sure her friend is okay because she seemed like she's living in a relationship, almost like she's in an abusive relationship. That's what it seemed like. Like that is almost abusive, verbally abusive, mentally. That she can't do what she can do what she wants, but he's not giving anything back. So,
And the biggest thing I'm gonna say this too, which they were saying, why did you sign up for a reality show, a Married at First Sight, when you knew there would be cameras, and then be tense because there are cameras?
tense because they have cameras, and some people he can't get used to them. He doesn't know, and he wants to make sure that his life is portrayed to be okay. But he doesn't realize that he's making himself look like a butt. Like even when you're so protective of the cameras or so conscious about the cameras, you make yourself look worse than what you really are. So, hey, let us know what your thoughts is. Leave a comment in the comment section below. That was the Wigging Out episode of Married at First Sight Denver. So let us know who was wigging out the most in this episode. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Make sure you hit the bell notification, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys a little bit later.
Bye.
Bye.